Hi again. Welcome to Tea and Talk Time. I hope you're having a good day. Come on in, sit down, relax, set a spell. Take a few minutes out of your day to just regroup, reorganize, rebreathe. Hope things are going well for you and yours. Things have been doing okay for me today. My sister came along and she took me out to get a prescription, pick up a prescription, her and her husband. And then we went and stopped at Red Robin, yum, and had lunch there, and that was good. I had the crunchy, the chicken fingers salad. It was very good. Excuse the squeaking, that's my chair. It's not my bones, although some days it feels like that. Just wanted to pop in and say hi and see how you're doing. The weather's going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down again, which means I'm functioning on no energy at all. Every time the lows come in and come through and threaten to come in and come through, it pulls the plug on my energy. I have no energy anyway, and then days like this just keep it going. But what you gonna do? You just keep doing. That's what you're gonna do. Had a wonderful experience a few days ago. I got to talk to my Dutch granddaughter via Skype. She was talking with her dad on Skype, and he's in Oklahoma, and she's over in the Netherlands. And she tried a preview trial of Skype, and she was able to talk to her dad and me. And also at my house was her uncle, her cousin, another uncle. I know I'm missing somebody, but so it was wonderful. It was a wonderful treat to be able to see her and talk to her and make that connection. So even though we gripe about computers and all this new technology and stuff, there are benefits to it. It's the jerks and idiots who use it for ill that ruin it for everybody. So if you focus on the good stuff, then more good stuff comes in. At least that's my interpretation. That's what they say is a universal law. What you put out is what comes back to you. And that's basically a biblical law as well. So that's what I use my computer for, is for family. It's to keep in touch with them. At one point, you know, my youngest son was the only one that lived in the area. Everybody else was scattered. And two of my sons are in the area now, and hoping that the third one will be able to come home to the area after he retires. But we'll see what happens. You know, it's their life. They got to do things their way and you know, make their decisions. Today, I'm not having tea. I just had 2 large glasses of iced tea at Red Robin, yum. And so I need to be drinking some water. So I'll have water, and you have whatever you want. I've been a bad girl. I had kidney cancer. And ever since then, I've been trying to be really good about keeping my kidneys flushed out. And I survived the operation, and the cancer was removed by the operation. And I think I'm 2.5 years now clear. I go back one more time, and they said if there's still no sign of it regenerating, then they will consider it all gone. So thank God for that. And it was an interesting way that it was discovered. My daughter-in-law thinks I'm really crazy. She's married to my youngest son, and I've got this huge cat in front of me right now, so you know, bear with me if you see a tail go flicking by or something. She likes to curl up in the most odd places, don't they all? But anyway, I had a hysterectomy, and the sutures from that, one of them got infected, not the suture, but where it was at. Um, it was like that fishing line stuff, is what it looked like. And it was actually through the skin, and I remember I had tugged on it or touched it or something. Well, obviously I had dirty hands at the time, and so it turned into an abscess there. So, and I didn't know it. All I knew was there was a real touchy spot, and then it started bleeding. And so I asked my daughter-in-law to take me to the hospital because I didn't know what was going on. And so they took me to the emergency room, and it was very, painful and tender to the touch, and it was oozing and bleeding, and the attendant took a look at it and says, yeah, you have an abscess, and we're going to give you an MRI just to make sure that there aren't any other abscesses that we're not aware of. So, okay, all right, fine. They said antibiotics will take care of it, and he got done squeezing it and getting rid of what was able to get rid of. And then off to the MRI I went. And so I'm, back in the cubicle and talking with my daughter-in-law and waiting for, the all clear to go home and have the antibiotics. And the physician comes in, and he says, yes, that was the only abscess. Everything's fine. We'll put you on antibiotics and you'll be able to go home. However, the radiologist noticed something, and we noticed a mass in your right kidney. And you need to, we don't take care of that at this hospital, so you need to go to the Cleveland Clinic, or I think University Hospitals he mentioned as well. And, have someone, go see someone Monday. I mean, it was like, don't hesitate, go do it now. Because this was on I think it was a Friday night. It's either a Friday night or a Saturday night. And me and my family was online playing World of Warcraft. And that's another, it was a way for family to be together online, talking, and playing a silly game while we keep in touch with each other. Another way to use the internet for something good. So anyway, that's how that evolved. And it was the weekend, so I would have to wait until Monday. So Monday I called and got an appointment just about right away, and went in, and sure enough, they actually had me take another MRI because I didn't think to bring the results of that one. So it was a dye contrast type thing. And so I got another super dose of the MRI stuff. Well, because of that, a friend of mine who has allergies said, you blew all the histamines for that particular thing, because I now, I'm sensitive to it now. It will take my breath away, and it will make me itch and scratch and carry on like I need a reason to carry on. So I saw the doctor there and went through the process, and he said that about, at the time, he thought it was about a fifth of the top of my right kidney was engulfed in this mass. And they didn't know. They were pretty sure it was contained, but they wouldn't know for sure until they took it out. They didn't know if the renal gland would be involved, and that would, I think he said, entail being on medication the rest of my life if I lost one of my adrenal glands. Not positive about that part. So I had the surgery. It ended up, he took out probably a fourth of my kidney to make sure that they were cutting into the viable tissue instead of the tissue that was affected. And my renal gland was not affected. It was pretty much self-contained, and he was fairly confident that, he's a human. You can't tell. I mean, these little stray cells running through your body, it's, and so far that's been the case. So what I was trying to get at, and I forgot, was when he came back, the first doctor in the emergency room, when he came back and he said, well, you have a mass and you need to go see you know, a specialist right away, I laughed. I mean, I got such a kick out of it. And this is why. And like I said, my daughter-in-law is sitting there going, anybody else hears something like that, and, they immediately go, ah! And not me. I laugh. And the reason I laughed was because I saw God's hand in this. There were no symptoms of any problems with my kidneys. None whatsoever. The kidney doctor confirmed this and said the type of cancer that I had has no symptoms until it's, already spread. So the only way that it was found was by me coming down with an abscess. So God's hand was there. I had the abscess so that the kidney cancer could be found before it got any further. That's how I see it. I thank God for it because I don't have kidney cancer. I don't have any other kind of cancer that I know of. Everybody has cancerous cells. I watch Dr. Oz a lot. And a cancerous cell is an abnormal cell. And we have lots of abnormal cells running around in our body. It's when that cell starts to go crazy and multiply and multiply and multiply that you come down with what we call, a cancer of some type. So if you're not eating if your nutrition isn't in some ways beneficial for gathering up the radicals and the abnormal cells and stuff, that's when it can go, way out of whack. And of course there's genetic markers and, other kinds of things that are involved that, I'm not a doctor. But, that's just part of what my understanding of it is. So my daughter-in-law had thought I was crazy anyway. And this just confirmed it. Ironically, and I told her why I was laughing. I said, I'm laughing because I see God's hand on this. God led me to see a doctor for this particular reason. And the only way, because I wasn't having, normally with, kidney problems, you're having a burning sensation, you're having, blood in the urine, whatever. And I wasn't having any symptoms at all. My kidneys didn't hurt. There was no other trigger, nothing to let me know that something's wrong here. The only thing that was convenient at the time was the suture, the incision of the what do you call it, for the hysterectomy, and it developed an abscess that led me to the emergency room, that led to an MRI to make sure that there were no, and it, they didn't, how often do they do an MRI to make sure there aren't other abscesses? Now, maybe because I had just had the hysterectomy within 4 weeks, I think. Then they want to check to make sure other parts of the incision weren't affected as well, the deeper levels. But like I said, I saw God's hand in this. It was like, that's the only way that this would have been found. And the kidney doctor said the same thing. You're fortunate. It was a lower level cancer. I don't remember what he said. It was an A or a B or something like that. And it was like stage 1, 2, some such thing. And, it could have gone on for years. And by then, when I would be having symptoms, like pain in my side or something, it would have been too late. I would have lost a kidney. So this way, I kept my kidney. And since then, I have tried to be better about, drinking pop and drinking lots of water so that it can do its function, better. I go on binges once in a while where I'm drinking soda like crazy. The tea that I drink is decaf, so that doesn't, unless I went, like today, it wasn't decaf, so I'm trying to be a good girl and drink water to help flush it out. And plus, last weekend, I drank a lot of pop, so I got to be better about that. I need to get more cranberry don't like straight cranberry juice. It's a little too tart for me. I like the cran raspberry light ocean spray stuff. I need to get some more of that and drink that, and just periodically make sure that I'm flushing my kidneys out, so that whatever caused it to start to begin with, maybe I can keep ahead of it and it not reoccur. But you know, when it's your time, it's going to be your time. But it wasn't my time. I was 98% sure that there'd be no problem with the surgery. I had my youngest son be there just in case, but I was fairly confident because I felt God was directing the whole thing. You know, he said, "Oh, you got a problem here. Take care of it before it gets worse." And that's what I did. Ironically, about a year later, I think, or 6 months to a year later, my daughter-in-law had a mole on her neck, and she scratched it one day, and it bled. Well, it also changed color, and then you know, she said, "I think I better get this checked out," and lo and behold, it was cancerous. And you know, it was scary for her, and it was more involved. It did affect one of her lymph nodes, and so a cluster had to be taken out as well. So her recoup time was much more. She tolerated a little bit of the chemo, but she couldn't handle it, and I don't remember all the processes she went through. I'll have her come talk with us sometime, and she can give you all the details. But I really think the way I handled it kind of helped offset her from getting too upset, because I knew it was in God's hands, and she was smart to follow through and get it checked up when she did. So anyway, you never know, you know. And cancer is so prevalent, and I think it's because there's so many chemicals in our environment, in our food, in the air, in what we wear. I mean, you name it, and it seems like, you know, there's a lot of foreign stuff that isn't organic, isn't natural for us. And I think it's catching up to us. I think it's affecting our bodies. I think it's affecting our DNA. I have a cat. See that lump? That is a cat. This cat is called Boots. And if I'm sitting here, I should be petting her. Isn't that right, Boots? So anyway, if you have a cat, you know this is true. If you have a dog, you know it's true. But they don't want to see your butt, okay? Tail is okay, but no sticking the butt. Right, yourself. So anyway, that's why I try to drink more water than I used to, and I can't handle straight water. What I can handle is ice water. It's got to have ice cubes in it, otherwise I can't drink as much water. So if you don't really like water and the taste of it, you know, try it different ways. I was drinking seltzer water for a long time, because that's better than soda water, soda pop. But it's a step different than water. But I've managed to make the transition to just water and ice. But you get tired of drinking just water, you know. So I also drink, you know, I have my hot tea and juice drinks and milk and iced tea, decaffeinated iced tea when I make it at home. So, you know, do what you can. Just, you know, like, I don't like to go on a diet, because your body, to me, my body, immediately goes, "Oh my God, she's going to starve us," you know, start hoarding it away. And the appetite shoots up, and then your craving for sugar and stuff like that shoots up, and then, you know, you're defeated before you even start. So I just call it, making different choices, making different food choices. Today I don't feel like bread, so I'll just have the hamburger patty by itself on a bed of lettuce and, chopped up tomatoes. It's just making different choices throughout the day. So try to add something to your diet that's that takes some of the toxins out of your system, that gathers up some of the free radicals, like strawberries. It's not the free radicals, it gathers up the cholesterol that's floating around in your intestinal tract. Strawberries will, suck those puppies right up. And, there's other foods. A handful of nuts is great for a lot of different things. I mean, find what is something that you like, and just add it to your diet. It just don't have to be one or two things, but just do something where you've got the well-being of your body in mind, so that it can work to its potential. I mean, when you think about how our bodies work, and this is going to be a God episode, I guess, because it's fascinating how this body of ours works and how it's interconnected, one thing on another, and then if this is out, then it makes that go out, and the intricacies is fascinating, and we don't really know. We know so little. We think we know a lot, but we're just barely tipping the iceberg. We're chipping the iceberg, whatever that phrase is that I can't think of right now. But we only see, a small percentage, the capabilities, the things that we are capable of. Ouch, foot's falling asleep. Boots, at least she can look at you. Face the camera, sweetheart. Nope, she's not going to face the camera. She's up on her perch. Anyway, like I said, I watch Dr. Oz a lot, and I like how he puts things in terms that I can understand. And they do the simulations of how your body works and why this is good for you and why this isn't. How cholesterol, clogs your arteries and different things, and it's fascinating to watch, because it helps you understand that when you're eating food isn't just because of the taste. There's a reason why you're eating, and that's to fuel your body so that it works right. And that's all we have is this body. Someday maybe we'll be plugged into a robot, who knows. But right now, this is what we have. And the more we can do to ensure its well-being, the happier and more well we are. And the sooner we know this and understand this, the sooner we can sidestep a lot of the illnesses and diseases that we have. Years ago, I was drinking a diet product, and I stopped drinking it because it was like, I'm drinking all these chemicals, and that can't be healthy. And I don't know if an angel was whispering in my ear, or if I was just in part of my craziness. But I started on my own thinking of this stuff. Nobody had to tell me that. It was like, this doesn't ring right to me, and a lot of the instant foods, a lot of the TV dinners, a lot of stuff that we eat is over processed, has mega chemicals and additives in it. Yes, we need it so that the shelf life is longer, but do we really need it to live 20 years past what we're going to live? That's got to be doing something to our insides. At least that's how I see it. But then, who knows? I could be way off base. Maybe we need to be changing our DNA because of what's going to be happening further down the line. I don't know. All I know is that I had a scare, and even though I was 98% confident that I was going to be okay, it was like, okay, you need to start taking steps, whatever steps you can, in order to offset, this coming and happening again. My mother had skin cancer. My grandmother, we think, probably had uterine cancer that spread to abdominal cancer. And my grandfather, I believe he had ended up with abdominal cancer. I think he died of pneumonia though, but, I don't know. It's there. So whatever you can do to offset this kind of stuff from happening, I think it behooves you to do it. At the bare minimum, which I got to be better about, is taking a multiple vitamin, so that you're at least getting the minimum daily requirements of everything, so that your body has a fighting chance to keep up its immune system, to keep the heart, functioning well, to keep your blood pressure down, to, whatever. So that's just how I see it. I mean, I could be crazy. My family thinks I am. But, it doesn't hurt. There's a lot of inspiration out there. There's a lot of support for people to make better choices. And that's what it is. It's a choice. And nobody's telling you have to do this and you have to do that. It's you have to decide for yourself what feels right for you. For me, incorporating drinking more water. I don't have that much bread around the house. I think I'm gluten sensitive, if not allergic. Is that the right word? I just know I feel better when I don't eat a lot of bread. But I still have pancakes. I still have rice here and there. I still have, matter of fact, rice is a big part of my diet now. Rice and fish. Trying to lose a few pounds. And what I do is for 2 or 3 days I have no carbs. No potatoes, no noodles, no bread. I try not to have any cookies or other goodies. It's primarily vegetables and protein. So, and then for 2 or 3 days after that, then I'll have carb days. And I go back and forth. And this was something that was proposed by someone on who came on the Dr. Oz show. And the way he explained it was, you fuel the fire by eating carbs for 3 days, and then you burn it off for the 3 days that you're not eating it. It was something like that. And I don't remember if it was 2 days on, 1 day off, or what. But it made kind of sense to me, and it has worked for me. When I'm doing it on a faithful basis, I can lose a good about 2 pounds a week. But my metabolism is so slow, and my fatigue is such a factor in what I feel like making. If I have the energy to, cook every night, that I go off of it a lot. And when the weather is up and down like this, I can't keep up with it. So I don't beat myself up. I just do it when I can. If it's one meal that I eat that has no carbs in it, then I go, okay, it's going to be a short one this time. And I think one of the other things, the guy that talked about the off and on carb days, I think what he said was it keeps your metabolism from getting in a rut. And it's constantly, when you shift it like that, it's constantly adjusting, and it doesn't go into that hoarding mode, I think, if I remember correctly. I only saw that episode once. So, that's That's a way to do it. Another nation heard from. It's my doggy. Oh, are you going to come up here and say hi too? Come here. Come on. Do you want to come up here? Come here. No, he's going to stand there and look at me. Look at that face. Come here, baby. Come here. Come on, up. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, he's going to sniff my hands and say, what did you have for lunch and you didn't take me to? I wish you'd come up here. You're such a cutie. There he is. He's such a cutie pie. He is such a cutie pie. Okay, I'll sit here and talk to you for a few more minutes and then we'll say goodbye. There he is. This is Scamp. No, it's not. This is Tramp. We had a dog named Scamp once upon a time, long, long time ago. My dog, who was a yellow lab, he passed away in November. And I wasn't going to get another dog for at least a year. My family goes, yeah, right, Ma. And we ended up rescuing him from the local kennel. They want to see your face, not your back. There he is. Look at that. Look up. Look up. Oh, I wish I could capture that. He is wonderful. I've never had a terrier before, so it's a whole new breed, literally. But someday I'll tell you the whole story about that. All right, no more. Get down. Well, I just wanted to pop in and say hi. And speaking of natural stuff, I came across, I do Facebook, and someone shared a spider killer preventer. And it seems simple. And it's 1 cup of vinegar, 1 cup of pepper, a teaspoon of oil, plus liquid soap in a spray bottle. And you spray it along the outside of doors and along windows. And that will kill any spiders that are there and prevent any spiders from coming in. And I think that's a cool thing. I'm going to try that. I have a rule here, and I let the critters know on occasion. No creepy crawlers, spiders or insects are allowed in the house, around the windows and doors. I'll respect them outside, they respect me inside, and you enter at your own risk, because I have a cat who likes to play with things, and now I have a terrier who also likes to play with things. So if anything comes in, it's at your own risk. And I've been invaded with ants before the weather turned cold again. Excuse me. And normally I'm more compassionate, but I got to the point where I just picked up a cleaner and just started spraying them. They were all over the counter in the kitchen, and I just would spray them. Every time I go in there and there were more, I'd spray it some more. But I would rather do something a little more natural than, you know, do more chemicals. I'm tired of chemicals. I'm quite tired of a lot of things, but that's something I'm quite tired of. I also heard on, I believe it was Dr. Oz, that if you take, I think it's called butterbee. Can't read my own writing. Butterbur. B-U-R, I think. If you take butterbur every day, that will help prevent migraines. 75 milligrams twice a day, I believe. Or maybe once a day. But butterbur for people who have migraines. It has something to do with the blood flow or inflammation or whatever to the veins, to the arteries that go into the brain. So if you know someone who has problems with migraines, that might be something to check into. And then one other thing that I thought was cute, and I totally agree with, it was a quote, and I don't know who it was, the quote was acknowledged to, but it's, there are some things that money just cannot buy, like manners, morals, and intelligence. Now, if that ain't true, I totally agree with that one. So I thought I'd pop in and invite you to pop in, rather. I think it goes that way better. just to say hi and touch base. I wasn't around last week, and was extremely tired, unusually so. So didn't get tea done. Didn't get it done this time either. So I'm drinking water, but hey, take a opportunity to sit down and talk and relax. Whether you got water or tea or juice or milk or coffee or whatever, just take that time throughout the day or once a day. Take your me time. Even if it's sitting in a closet with a flashlight and reading a book for a few minutes. Take your me time. And that's not being selfish. That's something you need to do for you, and it sets an example for your family to do the same thing, because that will help in any of your mental health. Society goes along just a little too fast, and it seems to be ramping up more and more. So you have to consciously take the time, because it's not going to just naturally fit into your life. And 5 minutes before you go to sleep just isn't enough. So thanks for stopping by. You take care, and I'll see what other goodies I can come up with for the next time you stop in. So until then, you take care, and God bless.